Fingers up if you hating nuts. I told stories about my day and they just say it up. So how you really gonna hate me if I mean?
Kia ora team, welcome back to another video. I'm Daniel and I hope that you fellas are having a good day, dressing well, and of course getting stuff done. Another month come and gone, September, boof, and now we're in October, which means it is time to go through my September favorites, finishing off with a pretty epic monthly Q&A this time. I put up on Instagram that the whole kind of like the subject and the theme of this month's Q&A was going to be based around mental health, which I actually think today, the day that I'm filming this, is the 10th of October. I'm pretty sure it's Mental Health Awareness Day, so if it's not, my bad, but I mean, every day should be Mental Health Awareness Day. So guys, I'm gonna run through my top 8 favorite pickups of the entire month of September, and then after that, we'll jump into the Q&A. So first up, we're gonna start with this bad boy. Now, obviously it was my birthday, It was my birthday in September, and this was one of the gifts that I got given that I was really kind enough to get given. It is an Acne Studio scarf. So tags are still on because I haven't actually worn it yet, just because it's still, we're almost at scarf weather. Like, we're almost there. Like, I've started to bring out my heavier jackets, but a jacket and a scarf, not quite yet. I've always wanted an Acne Studio scarf. Like, this one is so nice and soft. And honestly, what I like about this one, so with Acne Studios, you can kind of go two routes. One that is simple and minimal, like this one itself, or you can go to the one that's got the big brand all over it. Now, myself, I visually do like the look of those ones, but when you put it with an outfit, I feel your whole outfit has to be very, very simple to pull off like a big logo. At least that's just my kind of opinion, what I like. What I love about this one is obviously you've got the quality that Acne Studio produces, but then it's also like so minimal and nice that you can wear with any single outfit. The only little bit of branding it has on it is right here at the bottom where it does say Acne Studios. And honestly, all up, I really like it. Obviously, this is gonna be something that's in your collection for a long, long time. It was a really nice birthday present, and so I'm very, very grateful for this one. So the second pickup is definitely like my favorite, probably like kind of like thrift find yet, and it is this vintage Harley Davidson t-shirt, Harley Davidson print on the front, and then the Mile High printed on the back as well. Now, I always find with Harley Davidson t-shirts and kind of like vintage t-shirts, it's quite hard to find them in like a white or an off-white kind of like creamy colorway. So when I found this, I was super stoked. This does say it is a size large, but it definitely fits like a kind of like an XL. However, and this is what I love about it, the bottom of the hem isn't super long or anything, so it is quite boxy, and that's exactly how I like it. I was super stoked to find this, and I picked this up for £20. Next up, we have a t-shirt from the bro Ray. So when I went to New York, I met up with Ray, and he was kind enough to gift me one of his t-shirts. So if you guys know anything about Ray, I'll link his channel down below, but he really likes kind of going to the thrift store. He's really into his kind of like vintage and thrifted clothing as well. When he's designed his own, that's kind of what he's gone for. He's kind of gone for this, you know, kind of like very washed, aged look, nice, oversized, exactly my style. And I love the kind of like oatmeal kind of colorway to this. Once again, thank you for that, bro. I really appreciate it. Fourth up, we have a COS t-shirt. Obviously, we can't have a favorites without COS. This was in their sale, and I picked it up for £17, so that was a pretty good steal. This is the exact same. If you guys watched my last monthly favorites, I picked one up in navy. When I saw it, they had it in this kind of like deep brown slash like really deep maroon colorway. I was like 100%. I love the fit of these, the high neckline, nice and fit. We've seen this before, but it's a beautiful colorway. Then we come on to definitely, if you guys are following me on Instagram, a statement piece. I do not wear color much at all, so to see something that's so bright red, such a vibrant red on my Instagram and also just in a favorites is quite crazy. Now, I got a lot of questions about where this was from, and to everybody's surprise, this is actually from ASOS. So this is one of the ASOS's like heavy kind of like knit sweatshirts. I picked it up for, I think it was £25. Now, I went up in my size because I knew how I wanted it to fit. So I'm normally a large with like sweatshirts and stuff, so I picked it up in an extra large. Also, what I did is I chopped off the bottom of the hem to kind of give it a little bit of that kind of cropped look, a little bit of that like Raf Simmons vibe, and I'm really stoked at how it came together. If you guys did miss out on, like, for example, the bare knuckles sweatshirts, or if you also don't want to pay the price tag that came along with the bare knuckles, go to ASOS. You can definitely pick something up like this, crop it yourself, and it definitely gives you off that same type of vibe. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. 25 pounds, cropped it myself, and it's just one of those cool tops now that I can just chuck on whatever. It's affordable, and it was just nice little DIY. So little hack for you guys as well. Then we come on to this beauty, which also is from COS. This jacket is crazy. Like, it's kind of a jacket, it's kind of shirt, it's super thin, it's super lightweight. It's like also like quite transparent as well. So if you wear a t-shirt or stuff underneath, or you can kind of see my tattoos through it as well. It's kind of got like that whole like utility tech wear kind of like vibe to it, with like 3D pockets and stuff like that. And I absolutely love it. I was quite surprised to see COS having something like this. I think it's about 80 pounds. I had a little bit of a discount with it, but I'm pretty sure the retail was around 80 pounds. And honestly, I love it. Like, it's so light, like you can layer it. I love the colorway. The colorway is just beautiful. It's kind of like a desaturated like minty green. Absolutely love it. And I actually picked this up in a size medium. COS, sometimes my sizes play around, but medium was perfect for me. Then obviously second to last, I had to put these in. You guys know I picked up the Balenciaga tracks, V2s, did a whole video on them. So we're not going to spend too much time here, but I just want to let you guys know that I've been wearing them like heaps. And I've been wearing them in the rain, in dirt, everything like that. And they're still pretty damn like, because of the material, like if you've got like face wipes or something like that, you can easily just quickly wipe them off. Like, I got stuck in New York walking like, I think it was like 10 blocks or whatever, in pouring down rain, and yeah, they're still good. But again, I bought them to wear them, not to sit on the shelf. So just letting you guys know that they're getting a lot of use, and I still really rate them. Still nice and comfortable, but not as comfortable as the P6000s. And last but not least, a Balenciaga box. This was also a gift to me as well for my birthday. Just a nice, really little cool thing as well. And it is these Balenciaga socks, bright red, Balenciaga writing on the front. Definitely great if you've got like a really played down outfit and then you just want to bam, you know. I honestly would probably wear these. Like, I'd want to just team them up with like Doc Martens and black pants, just something that's just like boof. I personally wouldn't pay 80 pounds myself for a pair of socks, but as a gift, absolutely love them, like 100%. So grateful once again for these. So that's like my monthly favorite / recent pickups part done. Do let me know, guys, what was a monthly favorite that you got in September yourself? Let me know in the comment section down below. So with that part out of the way, it's time to get into the monthly Q&A, which the theme is mental health. As always, guys, what I do is I post up the Q&A, the bit where you can ask your questions, up on my Instagram a few days before I start filming. So make sure you are following me at I'm Daniel Simmons, so you can ask your questions. Now, before we get into this one, again, we are diving into kind of like mental health and things like that, kind of like the deeper questions that you guys have. It was quite actually overwhelming. This one, so many of you, like I got so many questions about this. Now, I do just want to say first, this is all just my own advice. I'm not saying my advice is correct or I know better or anything like that. It's just my advice. Also, if you are going through anything like that, I always encourage you to reach out to people around you, families, friends, even going to a therapist, anything like that. Definitely don't ever keep anything inside. If you need to or whatever, even like just DM me. If you just need somebody to talk to, anything like that, like I take this stuff quite seriously. So yeah, let's keep the comment section like nice and positive, and you know, just give help to anybody who might need it, or advice and things like that. But again, just positivity is key here. So diving straight into the first question, what are you supposed to do when you're unhappily in love? It's hard to gauge what exactly you mean here, because we could all have different interpretations. What I gauge from this is that you're saying that you're in love with someone, but you're not happy. The question that I would then actually put back to you is, are you actually in love? What do you define as being in love? If you're unhappy, that's the main thing that you got to look at. So you got to ask yourself, why am I unhappy? Am I unhappy in this relationship? Or is it that you are in love with someone who you're not in a relationship with, so you're unhappy? So the main thing is to address why you are unhappy first. Once you've identified why you're unhappy, it's then time to go talk to your partner or talk to the person who might not know that you're in love with them, and express how you feel and also why you're feeling unhappy, and go from there. How do you manage to deal with pressure in general in work or social domain? Myself, so I do a few things. So cold showers in the morning, first thing. I meditate every day for 20 minutes, and I also go to the gym. Also, anytime I'm feeling pressured or stressed, I ask myself, like, is this actually a big deal? Let's say it's your boss giving you so much shit for like something you handed in late, or you did something wrong. The reality is that's not that deep. I get how in the moment it might feel kind of like deep and annoying, but I mean, you still got a roof over your head, you still got food. So I'll always try like bring myself back to that, and realize also how lucky I am. How can I become self-confident? Confidence is something that I believe you just got to constantly work on. Like, it's something that I always work on, like each day and things like that. But then it's also like, I believe a lot of the ways that you can fix your confidence is by not worrying about other people's opinions and things like that, because it's normally when you worry about other people's opinions. So like if you're not confident to, let's say, wear a bright red top out, is it really that you're not confident, or is it more that you're worried what other people will think? So that if you fix you're worried about what other people think, then you'll have the confidence to wear it because you obviously like it. Does that kind of make sense? But yeah, overall confidence, you want to work on it each and every day, and you also want to capture yourself in the moments where you don't feel confident. Pause and ask yourself, wait, why am I feeling this way right now? And then try and attack it from there. How do you get out of being in a bad mood? To be honest, again, I try bring myself back to the things that I'm grateful for, family, friends. Again, it sounds so not cheesy, but just it's the same stuff that everybody tells you, but it's the truth. Family, friends, you have a roof over your head. I try bring myself back to actually how bad is it for me right now, and are there other people who have life worse or something for me right now? So I always try bring myself back to being grateful. It could be a bad mood that you missed your train or something like that, but then it's like if you're walking and then past someone who's like homeless, it's like, do you really come on, like it really brings things in perspective for you. So that's what I always try, just like bring myself back to. How do you deal with catching feelings for a friend? I personally would tell them. Like if I started catching feelings for a friend, I would just tell them, because like life's short and stuff. So if you're catching feelings for a friend, don't keep it inside, just tell them, because you never know. And if they reject you, at least now you know. And if they go along with it, well, that's like epic as well. But definitely tell them, like always speak your truth and you'll be good. I constantly feel mediocre and not good enough for anything. Any recommendations? First off, I genuinely believe this is something a lot of people deal with. I myself have dealt with that a lot of my life as well, like just being perfectly honest, because we put such harsh expectations on ourselves, and we also will look at other people and we don't see, it's like the iceberg thing. You might see someone's success here or somebody awesome here, this is the peak of the iceberg, and then below you don't see all this other crap that is going on in their life. Just try and know that you're not alone in that, and a lot of people do feel that way. And then any recommendations, I would say don't be so harsh on yourself. Don't compare yourself to people so much, and just focus on your little battles. How to develop confidence in taking photos of yourself and your fashion style. Practice. So with photos, I used to hate taking photos in front of people, things like that. I absolutely used to hate it because I was like, oh, all these strangers are looking at me. Where now, like, again, practice helps you actually start to get used to people looking, but also you know why you're doing it. So it doesn't matter if people are looking. And also you might put on that negative spotlight effect on you, where people might be looking at you, be like, oh, that's so cool, or something like that, where they just got this blank stare on their face, but they're actually thinking, wow, that's so cool, I wish I could do that. But then you're thinking yourself, oh, they're just there being like, oh, that little silly where, you guys get what I'm saying? I'm gonna be rambling so much in this. Develop confidence in your fashion style is wear the stuff that does make you feel confident. Like again, I believe a huge part of this is just not worrying what other people think. If no one else was around at all and you were able to take photos yourself, and you'd probably have like all the confidence in the world. And if you knew no one would ever see you, you would probably try on so many different bits of clothing and wear them out if you knew no one would ever see you. So I believe a huge part of it is worrying and concerning yourself with what other people think. What would you do if a person you meet just wants to have some fun with you? Do you mean like you meet somebody and all they want to do is like, are you talking about like sex and stuff? Like asking like there's a reply gonna happen? I mean, what do you do if every person you meet just wants to have fun with you? Well, I mean, if you don't want to have fun with them in whatever way it is, whether it's playing rugby or going at it, then don't. Like if you don't want to just be doing that with people, be like, no, I'm cool, thank you. Like you don't have to put up with that. Just because that's what they want doesn't mean it's what you want. So just express what you want. What to do if a homeboy leaves you on red? Man, do you know what? For example, if you guys use WhatsApp, everybody in the UK uses WhatsApp, get rid of that shit, man. Get rid of that two blue tick shit. Get rid of it. It's just gonna drive you crazy. You don't need to know when someone's read your damn message. You create damn stories in your head. Someone could be busy, someone could be doing this. Like the amount of people, I switch my blue ticks off, for example. Otherwise, I would probably leave everybody on red, because I read them and then while I'm doing something, and then I forget to reply anyway, and it's never that deep. But then the person who sent me the message could be like, oh, this guy always ignores me or whatever, where it's not. And it's not that I don't care, it's just that I was busy and now I forgot. How do you forget what others think about you? So I don't think you ever forget. There's not like a button you press and then you've forgotten. Like the majority of people, I don't really care what they think of me. I'm talking about like strangers, but still people close to me, like I value their opinion and stuff. But it's one of those things, like for example, if my mum said, oh, I don't like that you do fashion and stuff, I'd be like, Mum, I love you, I value you, but I don't really give a shit about what you just said to me. Like, sounds ruthless saying it like that, but it's one of those things. It's like, that's your thought. It's not my concern. Like, that's something that you need to work on, because me doing, for example, fashion, this is a random hypothetical, okay? My mum like loves what I do. I gotta state that. But let's say she didn't. Her not liking what I do, that's her issue. It's got nothing to do with me. You might think it does, but it doesn't actually have anything to do with me. It's got something to do with her own agenda or whatever it is. So back to the question of how do you forget what other people think of you? It's just how it doesn't really affect you when you think about it. Like if other people think your style's silly or what you're studying is silly, it's just on them. Like as long as you're happy with what you're doing and you're happy with how you view yourself, that's what matters, and that's what you should hold on to. So anytime someone might say a negative comment or something like that to you, or give you their opinion when you didn't ask for it, you just got to be like, it's cool, like it's got nothing to do with me, like I know what I'm doing, or I like what I'm doing, and things like that. Yeah. When do you know the person is the one, and how far you go for love? This is such an individual thing. When you know the person is the one, it's so individual for different people. I personally don't, I know this is not going to be the happiest thing. I personally don't believe there is the one. I think there's multiple ones at different points in your life because you're constantly developing. I feel the one is a romantic Disney movie kind of thing that we've built up in society kind of over time. But I think there's multiple ones, multiple people who you can be deeply in love with. Now, how do you know when someone is the one? Or let's say, how do you know when you're truly in love with someone and how far you'll go? To give you an example of an experience that I had when I myself recognized that I was deeply in love with someone, it was when I realized I would actually sacrifice all my goals and to put that person first. And that might sound normal to you guys, but now don't get me wrong, I'm not selfish, but I'm very work driven. I'm very goal orientated. So for me, when I realized, holy shit, I would actually be okay with doing that. Doesn't mean I would do it, by the way. It doesn't mean like that person ever wanted me to do it. It just means when I realized, wow, I would actually put that shit to the side. I was like, I must care on some deep level for this person. Now, how far you go for love? As far as you want that you're happy with. So you should never do anything that you're not happy with. And also someone who truly loves you back, I feel would never want to put you in a position that would make you unhappy or uncomfortable as well. But yeah, I'm so not the right person for this shit. What's the best way to deal with your insecurities? Love your videos, by the way. First off, thank you so much. So second, how to deal with your best way to deal with your insecurities. Head on is kind of my advice. One is actually identifying what you're insecure about. Most people, we lie to ourselves. We don't even let ourselves feel what we're insecure about. So it's letting yourself feel what you're insecure about and identifying it, and then becoming used to it, and maybe practicing it, and maybe accepting it that, you know, maybe I'm just not as good at that. Maybe that's not what I'm meant to be doing. But it's about more embracing your insecurities opposed to just fighting them off and running from them. If you embrace them, then you start to be like, if someone's like, oh, you're just so slow, you'd be like, if one of your insecurities is that you're slow, you'd be like, I am. But I know that. So it's kind of like accepting your insecurities and then being able to build from there. How do I break up with someone who I'm in an 8-month relationship in the nicest way? First off, I would say the time is irrelevant. Don't let the time dictate you staying with them any longer or anything like that, okay? Time is super, super irrelevant to it. The moment you've identified that you want to break up with them / you don't want to be with them anymore, that's when you should do it. That's the nicest thing you can do. You know, go to them, sit them down, just explain it. Obviously, they'll probably be hurt and stuff, but it's not your fault that they're upset or hurt about it. That's just how it kind of like goes. The worst thing you can do is realize you don't want to be with someone and stay with them for a prolonged period of time. So definitely the moment you've identified it, just do it, go straight in, boom. And I mean, it'll suck, it does suck, but you get through it. But as soon as you know, just rip the band-aid off. The importance of spending time with yourself and self-care. Well, there wasn't really a question, but the important, like 100% important. We're generally these days not by ourselves that much. And I mean, without phones around you, without technology, without any form of communication, we never really, bar when you're asleep, spend time by ourselves to actually realize how we might be feeling or realize the thoughts that might be going through our head. That's why I'm a big promoter of like meditation. Even if it's like 10 minutes a day, it allows you to be with yourself and your thoughts for that amount of time. So I'm a huge fan of spending time with yourself and self-care. Do you feel pressured to be in a relationship? Not at all, like literally not at all. How do you deal with judgment from others that don't understand your style? If you don't understand my style, that's cool, because then that means I'm like, if you don't understand my style, I wouldn't ever be worried about how you might judge me, because I then probably don't mess with your style. So we're cool. How much sleep do you get, bro? The science on good sleep is amazing, man. So I always aim for at least 7 hours sleep. 8 is good, but yeah, I always 7 hours is like my golden. Like I feel like, because with the moment I put my head down on the pillow, I'm out and then I wake up. So 7 to me is golden, but definitely I'm a huge believer in you need enough sleep. How did you get over the worst breakups? Respect for doing this Q&A. Thank you, bro. Acceptance and acknowledging and time, but also feeling what I feel, allowing myself to actually feel sad, feel hurt, feel lonely, allowing myself to feel those things, and then accepting it, and then just slowly getting better and better over time. And the final question, to leave it on a little bit more of a happier note, do you want to have a girlfriend slash baby slash puppy? And pretty much all those ones you listed is exactly what I would like to have. Girlfriend, baby, and I kind of want a baby girl, I'm just saying it, and a puppy. Yes, it'll be either German Shepherd or a Husky, but probably German Shepherds, because I've always had German Shepherds. But yeah, at some point, if it works out, that is what I would like and I'd be happy with. And there we have it, guys. That is a long ass video. Thank you so much for sending out those questions and opening up. I hope you were able to take something away from this. Like I said, if you have any more questions, DM me, leave them in the comments below. I will try and reply to you. If I don't reply, it's not because I'm ignoring you, it's just quite a few do come in. This is definitely something I want to do a bit more. Definitely something I want to do a bit more. And I also want to bring other people in on it, so you could have somebody here who's also weighing in as well, because like I said at the start, these are all my own opinions and I can only talk on what I've experienced through my life up to this stage as well. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you smash October, enjoy the month, stay positive, keep dressing well, and I'll see you fellas next time. Peace.